Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Let's talk Elk Lake Basketball. Seth Tewksbury is joining us right now. Well, Seth, you and your team doing a great job winning your league in the first half for Coach John Warnero. And let's talk about this team this year. Some good senior leadership, and you happen to be one of those guys that's a leader.
Yeah, I think it's great that we have a team, an older team, 5 seniors, and then our junior, Ben Wilcock. A lot of experience, we've grown up through the ranks starting his freshman year, and really came together as a team coming into senior year.
Seth, let's talk about your role on the team. You guys aren't real big. You're probably the biggest guy at about 6'3". Talk about where you play, and sometimes you hear teams have 4 guards, or they don't have a big guy per se. Talk about the dynamics in your role.
Yeah, well, you're right. We're not exactly the biggest team out there, but we're one of the tougher teams out there. We like to out-hustle a lot of guys, and we really try to focus on boxing out, getting rebounds, because that's pretty essential when you're a smaller team, because a lot of times rebounding wins the game. And my role a lot of times is to try to get as many rebounds as I can, offensive putbacks, defensive rebounds, and start some breaks.
Seth, when you talk about this team this year, why are you guys winning? Tell us about, is it heart, defense, a lot of skill, good coaching?
Well, I think we're winning a lot of games because we get ourselves going early, and we build up a lot of momentum throughout the game. And even when we lose some momentum throughout the game, we can still build that back. And, as a team, we have our highs and our lowest to lows. And when we're at our highest high, we're going, we're pushing the envelope, and we're moving quick. And that's why I believe we're winning a lot of games this year.
Seth Tewksbury from Elk Lake here on the John Mendola Show. Seth, let's talk about what you work at with your basketball game. We'll talk a little bit about track and field, because you said you're involved with that as well. But let's first talk about that basketball skill set. Is it when you're in basketball season you work hard, or anytime you get an opportunity, are you trying to pick up the ball and kind of continue that skill?
Yeah, a lot of times me and a few teammates will come in early in the morning before school while coaches are lifting, and we're out there getting shots up, shooting free throws, and and once practice time rolls around after school, we're always getting on the grind, working real hard, a lot of running, a lot of hard drills, and and that really helps us out, that extra practice, especially in the morning.
Let's talk about Coach Warnero and coaching you guys up and getting the most out of you guys. Tell us about what it's like to go through a practice and then maybe a game and a halftime speech. Talk about the style that he has.
Well, Coach Warnero, he's a really emotional guy, and he really knows how to get you going. There's never really a dull moment with him. He's always hyped up, always trying to get us going in practices, and he can get pretty fired up, especially if we're having an off day. He'll get us back in it. And during timeouts and halftime speeches, he just gets us fired up, motivated with all kinds of great speeches that I know he doesn't practice. He just comes up with it on the fly because, his emotions take over. And we love that about him. We love him as a coach.
We're talking with Seth Tewksbury about the Elk Lake Basketball Team. How far can this team go this year, Seth? You kind of get forgotten about playing in the Lackawanna League, Division IV, but when you match up or get a couple crossover games or some exhibition games, how have you guys fared?
Well, we've been known to be able to play very well up here in our division, Division IV up here. And once we get down to the other divisions, like against teams like Holy Cross, Dunmore, Mid-Valley, we really need to play our best basketball. And, we need to prove that there's teams from up here in Division IV that, can be reckoned with and that can really come in strong and maybe take somebody by surprise.
Seth, let's talk about when basketball season over, you're going to head over and do some track and field. What events do you compete in there?
I'm primarily a jumper. I do all the jumps, high jump, long jump, triple jump. I got into that sophomore year. Coach was egging me on to do some kind of spring sport, because I used to play baseball, but that, wasn't really my thing anymore. And track and field has definitely helped me a lot, especially from a jumping standpoint and conditioning standpoint for basketball season.
Seth, your future endeavors. Tell us about what you're going to be doing when the fall comes around.
Well, I applied to a few colleges, a lot of Western State colleges, and I got accepted to my first choice, the University of Montana in Missoula, Montana. I got accepted for majoring in wildlife biology, but, you're never 100% certain until you graduated from college, what you're going to be doing. And I have a few other majors in mind.
Well, tell us about the appeal for Montana. Why did you want to head out that way?
Well, I've been out there a few times, and it's just absolutely gorgeous country out there. And, I'm primarily an outdoorsy, recreational kind of guy, and I like all the hunting, fishing, hiking, all sorts of things like that. And just the terrain and the environment and the landscape out there is just absolutely gorgeous and breathtaking. And, I can really see myself having a lot of fun, keep myself busy out there in Montana.
Seth, let's talk a little bit about your family, how they support you, whether it's in the classroom, at your athletic events. Who's been there for you?
Well, I got to give a ton of credit to my dad. Ever since fourth grade, starting out playing basketball, he's been with me every step of the way, being my coach up until the end of junior high before I went with Coach Warnero. And, he's always been at every game, being the sideline dad coach you typically see. And, he taught me everything I know, and he's taught me to work hard, not only as a basketball player, but, as a person. And he's made me the person that I am today. And I also give a lot of credit to my mother, who, oftentimes if I get frustrated with other people, she'd be there to give me like a relaxed look at things. And she's helped me with my basketball and my schoolwork and all that things. And I just give a lot of credit to my parents for making me the person that I am today.
Well, you got a bright future ahead of you, that's for sure, at Montana, so congratulations at that. And then, of course, rooting for you here in basketball season and the upcoming track and field season, Seth.
Yep, thank you very much.
Senior Seth Tewksbury from Elk Lake, the Warriors, here on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.